Hello, the internet of the internet. My name is Jay the Star, and in this video, I am going to do a summary slash review slash my honest opinion on Classroom of Elite, and is it actually a good show to watch? And I'm not going to go through the light novel. I'm only going to go through the anime. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is going to be a whole new series that I'm going to start doing, and that series will be me reviewing, me making my honest opinion, me making the summary of season 1, season 2 and season 3 of Classroom of Elite, and how this will work. This will work like this. So I'll first go talk about each and every episode and give a summary of it. Then at the end of that summary, at the end of episode 12, the last episode in season 1, I will be talking about and giving my honest review of the season. So ladies and gentlemen, that's what we are going to do today in this video. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please like the video and please subscribe. Episode 1 of Classroom of Elite. So episode 1 of Classroom of Elite is, like, honestly, it's just a episode 1 is just there to start off everything. It's just there to give us the information and to tell us what's going on, with some few hints in what could happen in the future of the series. And episode 1, the summary of episode 1 is just Aniko is just explaining what is the school and what's the deal with the school. And the school is on the bird the next elite of the world, the next future of the world, and they're on the bird people that put pressure on them physically and mentally to take them to their limits, to take them to the base of their abilities, to have the base version of himself. So Anikozi was just explaining what is the school about. Anikozi giving us a few very cool quotes, very big, too much information. But I think episode 1 is a good episode to start with, like starting the foundation, starting from scratch, burn up the big moments. And in episode 1 we see that the students are given a monthly allowance of 100,000 per month, and in this episode we can see the students is taking advantage of that, seeing the students buying expensive games, expensive clothing, expensive food, going out every day to eat, to go out eating, not to buy the grocery and make it themselves. They're going out, they're eating expensive food, buying expensive bags. The girls, the dudes was buying game consoles. We see all of that happen, and Anikozi is asking himself, if they're doing this, why are they giving us 100,000 per month? And there's like roughly around 300 students. So how can the government afford this? Then later in the episode, they did give us a small hint of what is next to happen, which they show when the head boy was giving a speech. We can see the camera focusing on a group, some students, and we can see like, okay, this characters will be very important. And while the head boy was giving the speech, we Aniko's to look over at Horita, and we can see Horita probably know the head boy, so that could be a future thing that will come up later. But overall, episode 1 is good until we got to the end of episode 1, and we can see that the students didn't got their monthly payment. They haven't gotten their money. So when they asked their teacher why they didn't got paid, the teacher they tell them like the whole month they will studying each students, how they are treating the situation, and all of them to feel the first taste of them using the money in the wrong way, and not understanding the money and not understanding the rules. So where they say the money you can buy anything, but all they're using the money for is for their own goods and not to help them later in the future, to make them go ahead across the lowest. And that how episode 1 ended on a cliffhanger to set up some things, telling the viewers this show won't just be a simple show. There will be a lot of complex in the show. So that was episode 1. Now let's get to episode 2. Episode 2 of Crossing of Elite. Episode 2 definitely, like this first 2 episodes feel slow and like things, like small things that come together to make a big plot. And they are more character driven in the story and more story driven. So episode 1 and episode 2 does feel slow, and I can definitely feel that in the first 2 episodes when I was just looking at my phone. But the summarized version of episode 2, they are in a school, if you don't pass, you are forced to be out of school. They kick you out of the school for being dumb as hell, because this school is only for the elites of the elite, and they don't believe in failing. So also plus in the school, if you fail, you are kicked out. So when the kid get kicked out, you lose class points, which you need class points to get to class C, class D to surpass them. So in classroom of the elite, you must have plans. You must try to make all the students be in the class to be a success, to get some class points to further the class in general. So the big plot in episode 2, and seem like for quite a while, will be they're trying to make Sato pass, because Sato is not the sharpest in the toolbox, and the 2 other classmates that is literally the simp of the class, the Usopp, not the Usopp, sorry, Blackbeard, Usopp. So the 2 characters is the Aneda of My Hero Academia, they're just simps. So those 3 are having problems with some subjects and the failing. So the whole thing is that Anikozi and Horika and the other students are trying to help them, and then making like study groups to help them to pass. So that's the whole big thing, and they are setting up a big character development for Horika, because in episode 2 they focus on Horika and her problems and the reason why she might be in class D. And her problem is that she can't work with other people. She need to work with other people. Her whole thing is that she work alone. She's battling basically, and she don't trust other people, and that's gonna be her character development. And I feel like that's gonna happen, because we know why Horika from episode 1 was looking at the head boy like that, and it's because they are brother and sisters. And for the whole episode 1 and episode 2, Horika have this not aura but personality where she believes she's above everyone, and she is literally the best in the class, and she don't need them. And so episode 3 is, as she now is moving more faster, the pace is going to pick up now, and now they're heading to a bigger overall plot, because we got introduced to bigger characters that will be very important in the series. Like Rowan, we got introduced with Rowan, we got introduced with Inosuke and a class A students. So they're burned up to a bigger thing now. So episode 3 is now the kicking and moving more faster, and we see with the whole plot of failing, that Sudo, the fail, and Onkozi and Horika does come together, and they, mostly Onkozi went to the class teacher and also, hey, can we use our class, not my class point, but my point, can I spend money on to get Suda 1 more point? We saw then Horita realized Anikozi's plan and Sita joined in, and both of them together they did earn enough to spend 1 more mark for Sudo, because in like the first episode they let us say you can buy anything in the school with your money that you get every month with your student points. So both of them, they come together to get 1 mark for Sudo. So, and another thing that is going on in and it's looking like to be a big plot, is that the class C is going after Sudo, and the class D as generous. So class C is the Rune class, and Runes will have a very huge impact for the series. And in the episode, Anikozi and Kasuma, they work together to get the old papers for the class to get and to study and to just go over the paper. So this episode was burned up Anikozi and Kosude's relationship. Whilst they burned their relationship, and when the class found out that Pseudo the pass because he got 1 mark from someone, so the whole class at first they went to Anikozi, then Anikozi being Anikozi, he to say Horika to came up with the plan, and she was the one that actually got sued, that got sued and not expelled, and she's the main reason for Sude to still be in the school. So then the classmates just keep cheering for Horita, then they have a small celebration, and later Kosude asks Anikozi about Horita, and as they're talking, and just remember the whole episode they were burden Anikozi and Kosude's relationship from this episode and from last episodes. And Kosude is like the nicest human being you will ever get, the nicest girl you will ever get, nice, sweet, like a bunny. She won her real personality. Now we're getting somewhere because episode 4 is so far the best episode so far, and the reason is because they've actually burdened to bigger stuff, and more stuff is getting revealed. And one of the big main plot of this episode is who was this a planned attack? Is Sonju right that he was defending himself from 3 kids that attack him from the class C? So the big plot is that is he in the right and was he defending himself? So apparently 3 class C kids that attack Sonju, that was his part of the story, but the other part is that Sonju just got upset after the game and he did unleash his wrath on those 3. So that's the big thing and what happened. And there's only one student that actually was there to see everything, and that was Sakura. So Sakura was there, but she refused to tell them what happened, or to refuse to let them know that she was also there. And the reason is because we don't know it yet, and that will be coming up in the next few episodes, because Sakura was there, but she has a reason to not tell them why she not staying up for Sonju. So that's a big thing that is going on at the moment, the big plot. And I forgot to say this from the last episode. Consume did force Anikozi to put his hands on her uniform to make it look like Anikozi was doing some soft and very weird stuff to her. So she is currently having Anikozi on blackmail, but that was from the last episode. And episode 4, so Horikita is trying to help Sonju, because if they don't help Sonju, then the school will kick Sonju out of the school for attacking 3 learners and brutally beating them up. So that's the thing, and that's the reason why they need to protect Sonju. But you can see Horikita's thinking maybe they don't need Sonju because he's a liability more to the class. With Anikozi is you can see in the episode he does understand, and him and Horikita think the same and have the same opinion on Sonju. So so Kita tried to talk to Sakura, but when she was trying to talk to her, they Sasuke to fall down and broke her camera, so that need to be fixed now, which that will be something big will happen with that, because I already watched the season. But anyways, I think that's all the main plots that I need to touch on. Also, and the other thing is that we are starting to see more of Ryu, and it looks like Ryu is the leader of the class C, and we can see this was not a bad accident, this was on a purpose thing. And we can see Ryu is actually talking class D, and he's talking one of class D weakest member, not physically but mentally, when it comes to Sonju, because Sonju, he is very hard-headed and he will fall into Ryu's trap. So Ryu is going after class D and with him. And we can also see that Inosuke is having relationship with Anikozi, and they getting closer. But the one thing that I don't understand is why Inosuke went to Anikozi for her problems of that other girl trying to ask Inosuke out. So I don't understand why Inosuke first went to Anikozy, but that I don't know. I think that's just random. But anyways, that's all that happened in episode 4. Now let's get into episode 5. So episode 5 was a little bit slow. Episode 5 was slow, and I think episode 5 was mainly to set up episode 6 because a lot of things did not happen in episode 5, and I think episode 5 was as a stepping tool for episode 6 and to build the foundation for episode 6 and 7 and 8 and so on. So the summarized version of episode 5 is Anikozy, Kusuma and Sakura went out to go get the camera fix, and they run into a very weird old man that will come later in episode 6, but they run into that weird old man, and later the class C, Sukuno, Sonju and Anikozy and the teachers came to have a meeting on what really happened with Sonju. Was it an accident? Was it on purpose? Was it like, is he in the wrong? Was he defending himself, or what's the story? So the whole time Sukuno was not Sukuno, sorry, Horita was in her like at the background because her brother is there, and when her brother's near her, she become a beta female and she's no longer the alpha anymore. So then Anikozy must do something to wake her up, which she did, and later, other than that, they have like a small argument what really happened until Sakura came and she saw the evidence of what really happened, and we see that Sakura is actually a model, and she's actually like an influence, a popular model that has influence, and she's wearing fake glasses. And that's the main reason why she didn't want to come out and be part of this, because then this would expose her real side, her real real Sakura, the not the smart Sakura, the quiet Sakura. It will expose her real self. So that's the main reason why she didn't step forward for the thing. Anyways, so other than that, not really a lot of things happen, and we saw this episode 5 was mainly to set up episode 6. But this episode, in a weird way, is also very important for Sonju's character development, because Horita did say it. He's not going to say anything. This won't happen. This won't be the last time this will happen. This thing would happen. So that's the end of episode 5. And now let's get to episode 6. Now episode 6 is definitely the best episode, and it definitely took the crown of number 1. It have serious moment with big plots, and man went out of his ways to stalk her, to get her Instagram, and to do that horrible stuff. Then having Anikozy with Inosuke helping Sakura from this man. And so, but anyways, this episode have a lot of things going on with itself, having a very smart play with Horikita and Anikozy, having one of the smartest plays so far between those two, where they did drag those 3 class C boys that did attack and to set up the Sukuno, not the Sukuno, sorry, Sondo situation. Those class C A student got set up by Anikozy and Horita. From there, text them to come meet him at this area, the same area with this whole thing that took place of the class C and Sondo fighting. And Anikozy and Horikita, to point out there was a camera there pointing at them, seeing everything that happened. And the main reason why the school haven't done anything yet is to see what the class C boys are up to it, and if they did, there won't be a lot of punishment happen, but if they don't, a lot of bad things will happen to them. So Anikozy and Horita, they gaslight them to believe their lies, which they did believe the lies because it is a lie. And as soon those class C boys, they oh crap, we in a very bad position. And even one of them to say, oh, we need to go talk to Rowan about this. But then Horikita to put pressure on them, saying, hey, if you don't drop out now, if you don't say you are done with this case, and you don't continue with this case, then they won't show this, and the school won't go forward with with the camera stuff. With those three boys that drop out of the case and they run away, as Ankosi and Horita ruined this case, and they told the whole class of this, not to know what they done, but they just told everyone that they dropped from the case, probably knowing Soda was right. We see was right. We so far that's the smartest play by both of those skaters, but it won't be the smartest. This for now, this is the smartest play. But then when the three classy boys run back to Ronan about what happened, Ronan they kick the crap out of the three classy boys, kicking the crap out of them, and so the show is set up Ronan as this dark, figure that will go against Horika and Anikosi, and Rune will be the big bad of the season and the next two seasons. And so Rune would take the spot as the main villain of Classroom of Elite. Rune is a very scary person, very menacing like. So Rune does look like a very good villain, and later, like when we continue with season 1, season 2 and season 3, Rune will be the best character of Classroom of Elite, I'm telling you. And at the end of the episode, the Class D teacher, they talk to Horika about the situation and what they've done. We see them praise Horika because Horika was the one that came up with the plan, but as soon as Sai Sensei started, talking about the whole situation, Horika realized them came up with the plan and it was Anikosi. Sai Sensei, she want this class to reach class A, and the only way to do that is to use Anikosi. And with Sai Sensei told Horita Suzune, hey, Horita, you need to use Anikosi. You need to listen to him. You need him to reach class A, because without him you won't reach class A. As Horita realized that she got gaslit by Anikosi, and Anikosi was using her from the beginning, putting the plans in Horita to do that camera and that plan where they gaslighted class C to believe there was cameras there to begin with. So then when Horita and Susanoo realized this, she ran up to Anikosi and like ask her and tell him why isn't he trying to reach class A, because he is way smarter than he look. And then Anikosi respond, don't come and look in my life, stay away from me, stay away from my life. So now it's time for episode 7. This episode 7 is legit a full arc and nothing happens. So in a light novel, this chapter or this novel, this part came later in the series, and I don't know why the animation team decided to put this further in the middle of the year, because they have to replace Horikita with K, because K will be very important, and I really don't understand why they done this early, so soon, because it doesn't make sense, but who cares. But legit, episode 7 is a filler. Now episode 8 is, so now when we reach episode 8, it reads the novel part, the big arc of the Spacer Island text. So that's a very big arc, and it's one of the biggest and most, and actually you could say the best arc in a light novel is the first Spacer exam, the island arc. And so episode 8 is starting this arc, and this arc will rest at the end of season 1 and will end at season 2, at the beginning of season 2. So this arc starts late season 1 and end early season 2 of this arc. With okay, but I will save my opinion later, because I do have a problem with that, but I'll talk about that later. So episode 8, let's talk about the summary. So being the start of the big arc of season 1, being the main arc to end season 1, they need to build the arc. They need put the structure, then they need to make the structure right so the structure cannot fall, because you cannot build a house on a sand because the structure is too weak. So you need to make sure the structure is stable and cannot break. So that what is basically episode 8. Episode 8 describe and it shows the most important character in this arc. It shows the Class A leader, that old man, I forgot his name. It shows Ryu, and it shows him talking to can't say her name now. Oritika. Oh my gosh, can't say her name now. Horikita. So it shows Horikita and Ryu will have a very close relationship, not as friends, but as rivals, as enemy. As Ryu being the villain of the season, being the villain of so far, of course, of the league, he want to take out Class D because Class D is not above them, but is lower than them, and Ryu want to take out the competition so he can see how does it work, and then he can further his goals of being number one, being Class A. So for now, it seems like Ryu's goals is to take down Class D and then continue going after Class B and then going for Class A. That's his plan. So him going after Class D, going after Horikita, because her main plan is to take all of her classmates to reach Class A. So they are being, the rivals to each other. They've been the enemy to each other. And we see a lot of, episode 8, Ryu did actually have, he did show up a lot, and people watching him mention Ryu a lot coming to this arc, because Ryu will be important to the series. So we see Anikozi having some few dialogues of Sakura. We see Anikozi having some dialogues of Kusida, and that's basically all. And this, episode 8, it is a good episode, and it's a good structure, it's a good beginning of an arc. And to give you guys, the information, the summary of what is the space exam. So basically the space exam is the teachers are taking all the first years to this island. With this island, they are basically this, the teachers will leave the student alone, and they must capture some few locations that will give them points. So they can get points, then that points will be converted to their class points. If you have enough class points, it could take you to Class A. So it is quite important to save some points. And to do that, to get points is to capture, a flag, is to capture your base. And other than that, they are given, a spacer. It's not a spacer, but they are given a budget to spend on. And in this budget, they must work out what to buy, what food to buy, what stuff to buy to sleep off, what they need. In this episode, the girls and the boys, they got into some argument. They got into a conflict of should they buy a toilet, because the girls want to buy the toilet while the boys don't care, and they think they can use it to spend on food and shelter that's more important than the bathroom, while the girls was not having it. So that's the thing. So they are given a budget, and then they must walk around that budget, and they must get points, and the way to get points is to capture a base, a flag. So if you capture a base or flag, you need to have a leader. Then that leader, I think that they need to capture a leader. They need a leader in a group. Every class has a group. Then here come the fun part. So the students can go and found other classes, like Class A, Class B, Class C, Class D leader, and if they find out who is the leader, and if they can correctly guess or get the information of who's the leader, they can give it to the teacher at the end of the space exam. And if they get it right, then they get points, and that group, that class that you guessed is the leader correctly, they don't get all the space points they get from the base, from the flags when they return your points. I hope this makes sense. If this don't make sense, then go watch the anime, okay? But that's basically the summarized version of episode 8. Now it's getting good. Episode 9, start off the summary of episode 9. Episode 9 was a very good episode. So episode 9, the summary version is that the class leader decided for Horikita to be the class, not the class captain, but to be the leader of the group. So then if anybody guesses Horikita as the group leader, they will lose all the points. But if they guess wrong, they would not get the points if they guess. So it's probably just safer for you to not guess. But anyway, so Horikita is the captain, and as you know, the captain she tells the people to do that, this, that. So Anikozi and Kurenju and Sakura went on a small mission just to go and to get another base, just to get double of the points. So as Anikozi tells Horikita that he's seen a place where they could get points, and this place is as a better position because it's it's far away from the sun. There's like cover himself. There's actually water, close water, fresh water they could get. So as Anikozi, Koenji and Sakura get there, Koenji went missing. He's just run away. We don't know where's the golden lion in this moment, but we do know that when Sakura and Anikozi reach the place, there's two class A students walk out, and it seemed like they took this place as Anikozi and Sakura did hide and they get back with the group. And we see the group, the class D's, actually coming together and actually walking, and they even like the simp Inky, I don't know what's his name, but all of them is actually walking together as a unit, and they're working very well together. And this is another episode to set up more stuff that is coming, because when Anikozi and Sakura was coming back from the thing, they did run into a class C student that is badly damaged and badly injured from Ryu. And the reason why she's badly injured because Ryu just thought she was useless to him, and there's another body that is useless to him, so they just abandoned her. And then the class D, they decide they would take this class C girl under their wings and to keep a close tag on her, but to be more friendly, more than anything else you could say. And basically that was the episode and everything that happened in this episode. So now let's move to episode 10. Wow. Episode 11 rightfully took the place of episode 6. Episode 11 blows episode 6 out of the water. Pause. Episode 11 was wonderful, delightful, undisputed, the best episode of Classroom of Elite so far. Like all the burden of the structure is coming along, and is like episode 1 to 10 felt slow, felt very burden up to the big plots, waiting for the big plot to happen, putting small details, putting walking the plot together, putting the spiderwebs together. Now the spiderwebs are finally connected, the lines are connected, and this episode definitely took all the big plots to happen, because this is the summarized version of episode 11. So it's still continue with the boys and the females. They having their problems on the different side, and having to use a lot of infight, and having to use argument of who took it. And so that's the first part of the episode. Then you lead to someone putting mud on Horikita, making her very sick. And if you notice from last episode and episode before that, and ever since this arc started, Horikita was not feeling herself. She haven't done a lot of physical work this whole time. If you notice, in which Horikita is one of the most physical and base physical character in Classroom of the Elite. So it's very weird not seeing Horikita doing the physical stuff. The whole episode, if you look, the whole episode she done no physical stuff. So she's probably sick, and that guy putting mud on her did make it even worse. And even Uncozy also, hey, are you good? So while that's going on, the camp got set on fire. So while the camp was set on fire, there was chaos, people running around throwing water on the fire, trying to keep the fire low. We noticed Horikita was taking a bath. And when she come back to the camp scene, the camp was in chaos, and she noticed that she don't have a key. It's not a key, but it's like a card. It's like a card, and that card is a symbol of being the group leader. So she probably noticed, oh crap, whoever took it is probably going to snitch on me for being the group leader of Class D. And she straight away knew it was the Class C girl, because who else would do it? So as she tried to look for this Class C, to catch up to this Class C, Horikita and those two, the battle out in the rain. And this was the second big fight scene in Classroom of Elite. And even like that Class C girl, they noticed, hey, Horikita's sick, she's not at her 100%. And as this Class C girl and Horikita find out in the rain, we see that the Class D, K's, boyfriend is having a mental breakdown. Then Uncozy to calm him down, and then Uncozy just walk away in a very calm way, just walking, looking for Horikita. And we cut to Horikita losing the fight to the Class C girl as she run away. And then we see, I think she left the card behind, or she took it, I can't remember now. But that's how the episode ends. In Horikita in the forest, it's raining hard, she's on the mud, she's covered of mud, she's sick, it's raining hard, and that's how they end episode 11. And now episode 12 is up there, second best episode, not as good as 11, but episode 12 is very good. But my one problem with episode 12 is there's a lot of flashback happening, and they just just say what happened, and they didn't show what happened. But it was still a very good episode, good plan from Uncozy. Uncozy come clutch for Class D, winning this first part of the special exam. So Uncozy, the use of a smart plan, he knew that the Class C was on something, because he noticed her hand was full of mud when the first time they met. And when Uncozy went back, he found a camera, and he poured water over the camera, so forcing her to bring the card to ruin, to show, hey, this is actually the person who is the leader, who is that who is Uncozy did on purposely cause that to happen, for her to fall into his trap, making Horikita even more sick, because he used one of those clowns from Class D, his class, to put mud on her, to make her more sick, to make to cause her sickness to be more effective. So when she took the bath in the water, then the Class C girl that stole it, who's that caused the fire, who's that to cause the painting, rob, who's that also caused a small fight between Horikita and the Class C, which then Uncozy using them took her back to the thesis, and which in the room it says that if the leader does get sick, they are allowed to swap out the leader. So Uncozy they use that against Ruin and all of them. Use Ruin, they use a plan where Class C and Class A is working together, finding the other people's guard, the other people's captain, and using that against them, and calling them out and getting the extra points, and getting more points for themselves. So Class C and Class A were working together the whole time, and it's very confusing at the end how everything could happen, but I won't be bothered to try to explain, because I know for a fact I will mess it up. Which then the Class D were very surprised of how they won, and the only person that knew was Horikita, but he and Uncozy, it looked like they have like a small friendship, and they trust each other, and they tell each other what's going on and what's the plan. So the only person that knew about this plan or have like a small like they know something's up, they know a small detail of Aniko's plan, that was horror, and that was Hirata, that's Kei's boyfriend. So that's everything that have happened in the episode of 12, and then Anikozi did say this was Horita's plan, it was Suzune's plan, Sita plan everything out, and he was just a pound in her system. But I will talk about this one moment later in the full review of the episode. So episode 10 kick off, Anikozi and Horikita walking around and just looking at the different classes, camp, and just envelopes, like just looking what's going on over here, there, class A, B, and C, and what is the competition, and so maybe to also go on a lookout who is the captain so they can sneeze and ranked on. So as they walking around, they first went to class A, I believe, and class A they refuse for them to come in, but if they do come in because it's not illegal, class A said they will go to their camp and it will be more brutal. So Suzune and Anikozi could not go into the class A camp. And then later when class A, not class A, class D with Horikita and Anikozi went to class B. Class B was different. They were the opposite. They didn't allow it to happen. They opened the arms to both of Anikozi and Horikita to the camp, and they were talking, having a friendly conversation, while they noticed there's a class C student with a class B. Then later when when Anikozi and Horikita went to class C, is also the same thing, but class B and C is very different. Class C was spending everything, like they did not care on what was going on. They did legit. They bought expensive stuff. They bought speedboats. It seemed like they were on a proper holiday. While class B, they were walking. They were thinking what to buy, what to not buy, using their brains, using the budget to make the perfect amount of money they can spend and not spend, and using the money very carefully and smart. The opposite of class C. Then we go back to class D's camp, and this whole time class D was actually equal and all of them was united until someone stole Kei's underwear. And since he's a female and all the females were backing him up saying the boy stole her underwear, as Kei's crying and all, just making a whole situation out of it. They say Kei's boyfriend, I forgot his name, should sus all the boys if they don't have it. So he done that until Anikozi somehow have it because a different student forced him to have it, but then he didn't snitch on Anikozi because Anikozi is not like that. So then they're having a whole argument. The class D was in heat mode. They were fighting, like infighting, until they come up with a plan. They're gonna make two camps, not two camps, but one camp with two different group, while the females stay on this side while the males stay on that side, but to make it equal. Kei's boyfriend will make sure the boys don't do anything, but Horikita also say Anikozi should also do the same thing, so they will look out for each. So that's all thing. That's episode 10 in a nutshell. Now let's move to episode 11, which episode 11 is far better. Episode 11 in 12 Gate. Good. Now it's time for me to talk about the season as a whole and what's the problem of Classroom of Elite and what was the success of Classroom of Elite. So when I was watching the show, this isn't like my first time rewatching the show. I have watched the show twice now, and going through my second time watching season 1, I've realized the first few episodes is very, very, like, you feel the pacing is slow the first few episodes, and once it hits episode 8 to episode 12, then the show start to be good. Then not good, but the pacing start to actually finally feel right and feel at the right pace, because the first, like, episode 1 to episode 5 just feel very very slow. Then 6 to 7 was as good. Then from 8 to 12 was wonderful, like watching it. I was as enjoying myself as a read, like watching it from 8 to 12. And I think that's the reason, because the pacing is very slow at the start, and the arcs itself, the first few arcs, is quite boring. We can agree, like the first few arcs is boring, but it's necessary to tell the viewers, hey, this is possible, that's not possible. So as like a first arc, when actually 1 to 5, it was good, but the pacing was off, and the arc itself, the material in the arc is not good. Like not good, but it's like mud. Like in the light novels, that the first few arcs it's like the material is like medium. Then once you finally hit the special exams in the island, then the light novel and the anime will start picking up. And I'm just saying now, season 2 is far superior than season 1 and 3. That's a small spoiler in the head of my review of the arcs. So, but season 1 is good, and even though for some reason the season left out some stuff in the light novel, and they swap stuff around, they swap some characters around, which I don't like, and I don't know why the season don't keep up with the source material in the light novel. Is not the same. Some stuff is switched around and opposite side. I don't know what's going on, because I did read some of the light novels, and I can confidently say the light novel is far superior than the anime, and I really don't know why they can't be bothered to actually like switch stuff around. Like I can't be bothered. I don't understand why they can't be bothered to actually follow through the source, like the light novel. They can't follow the light novel, and I'm very scared for season 4 and season 5, because spoiler alert, season 3, yeah, they don't follow the novel, and that's why season 3 is horrible. But that's a later video to talk about. But season 1, okay, let's stick to season 1. So if they just stick to the light novel, I think it'll be far better, like honestly, because I don't know why they not keep up with the light novel, but who cares? I mean, I care because it will make the show better, but hey. And with the animation, I think the animation is good. It's not the best. It's not a Demon Slayer animation, but it's not a Dragon Ball Z super animation where it's off. Like the animation of course of it is very beautiful in like images, and the coloring of the color of the anime is very nice. It's very beautiful, but it's not a 5-star animation, and which is fine. You don't have to be a 5-star animation to be the base of the base, but hey. And I'll give this show a 6 out of 10. Season 1, of course, of Lead, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. It's above average, and there is some cool moments in the season. There is likable characters, enjoyable characters, but I just feel like season 1 was just an introduction to this world, of course, of Elite. And in my honest opinion, I think this show would benefit from a longer time, but with shorter episodes. I think, in my opinion, like Classroom of Elite is not your typical anime, and that's what I'm trying to say. Classroom of Elite have big brains move and small details that will come together, like conversation, a certain look, a certain like character looking at another character weird. Like all of this comes in the Classroom of Elite. Small details that will become the big plots of the season. Like the smallest details, like how the classy girl uncles and notice she had like mud in her fingernails, like it's dirty from the dirt, and that to come together for the bigger plot to happen in episode 9 or 10, I forgot. But all of this is important, and I just feel like if this show was more longer when it comes to the murder and the length and shorter by the episode, like if they just give us a 40 murdered episode for 8 episodes, per episode 40 to 45 minutes. I think that would be really benefit. And something that I don't like they do in anime is that they don't go into the small detail. They don't show the smallest detail of how the crossing girl have dirt in her nails to cause Anko to go look in that dirt. And that's the thing that I'm thinking. And like when Ryu was still on the island, they could give us more small details of Ryu in the background, but they didn't. Even though they're so benefit from smallest details because they're so put it in the show on purpose to come together, I just feel like the animes just needed to do that, in my opinion. So that's why I would give the show a 6 out of 10. So ladies and gentlemen, the internet of the internet, that is the end of the video. That is my final thought in Classroom of Elite. That was my summary, my review, and my honest opinion of season 1 of Classroom of Elite and the internet of the internet. Season 2 review will come out in the next few weeks, and the reason few weeks and a few days is because this video does take a very long time for me to make, because I have to watch the videos, I must watch the episodes, then review it, and then make a summary of each episode, then make a review and edit. So it's a very long time, take so much energy out of me to release this one episode of my review of season 1 of Classroom of Elite. So season 2 and season 3 will come out as fast as possible. But ladies and gentlemen, the internet of the internet, that is my final thought in this review. That's my final words of this review. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please like the video and please subscribe. And ladies and gentlemen, go watch my other videos. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.